That's a video for a Honda Accord. This is a 2.2 diesel Type S version, 59 plate with 79,986 miles on the clock. Car looks absolutely superb, finished in white as you can see here, maybe championship white or another white they call it these days, I never really know. But really good looking car, as with all the Type S's. This benefits from the 180 horsepower diesel, so it's a much more powerful engine than the standard unit. But I'll go around the car for you and just give you a quick outline of the car. Obviously the engine will be running throughout the duration of the video, which always sounds a lot noisier on the video than it does in reality. Bottoms of the car, I hardly really see a stone chip on there. It's obviously difficult being white so that you can see them, which is why it's such a good colour. Coming to the front wing here, it's very clean and tidy, can't see any obvious marks on there. Front alloy is generally very good, there's just a tiny bit of curbing on the outside of it. Tyre here has got absolutely tons of tread, must be sort of 5-6 millimeters as an absolute minimum. Coming down the flank, panel works really clean and crisp, wing mirror and repeater all in top order there. Can't see, I'll come down on a lower angle to see if there's any indentations on the side there, but I can't really see anything. Oh, it looks very clean and crisp down there actually. Yeah, it's very nice. Rear wheel, again, very good indeed. Just a little bit of curbing on the outside as you'd expect given the kind of age and mileage of the car. And again, just go to the treaded tyre. Yeah, there's absolutely loads there as well. Come around the back, just drop back as well, because you can see it's a really handsome looking car in profile, and especially from this rear 3/4 angle. Really sort of trunky looking thing. Coming around the back of the car now, you can see rear tailgate. Car's fitted with a single electric tow bar down there as well, with a little protector guide on there. Coming to the near side of the car. Really clean, crisp panel work on the car. I can't see any indentations on there. Come to the rear near side alloy. Again, a few little curb marks on there. Tyres, as with all of them, got absolutely tons and tons of tread on it. It really has. So the panel works in really fine order. Canopy mirror very good on this side. And last wheel and tyre, absolutely superb, really is. So overall a really good looking car. Very rare beast indeed. It's very nice order on the outside. Right, coming into the boot area of the car, absolutely huge boot area. And this car benefits from having this plastic load liner fitted. Obviously the carpet's all underneath, some very nice order indeed. But huge amount of space. You've got power outlets in there, 60/40 fold on the rear seats, and tonneau covers all in situ as well. Coming up here, obviously it's electric tailgate. You can open and shut electrically, just press a button there. You can do it off the key fob as well, or button in the car. Sorry, I just did that again. Someone phoned me halfway through the video. Just press the button there. Just want to show it all working. I don't want you to think it just suddenly stopped working for any reason. There you go. Come to the back of the car now. Rear door cards, very nice order indeed. Obviously you've got a full black leather interior in the car. Looks really fantastic in the vehicle. Very nice condition in the back of the car. Plenty of rear leg room. Let's go to the other door card on this side. That's all very nice indeed. Back of the rear seats generally good. Only sort of minor marking where you get to people's rear seats touch the back of the rear seats, but I'd say generally very good indeed. I come to the front now. Driver's door card again, really nice order. All this is really very high quality, soft touch materials. They are beautifully built cars. Sill area again, very good indeed. Electric adjustments on the driver's seat there, and the driver's seat in very good condition. Really nice. The only wear you're going to see, which is obviously what you expect, tiny bit of wear in the bolster, but it is very minimal indeed. And come across the passenger seat, again, very nice. Alright, so inside the car now, just going to pan around the dashboard for you. A really good looking dashboard. It's a big spec on these Type S's, very similar to the EXs actually. Basically you got this lovely big high up sat nav system, just to show you. Oops, just go around there, and that all works perfectly. Pop it into reverse and you've got a lovely car parking camera. and that all works absolutely perfectly. Or parking camera, car parking camera. Audio system, ventilation system down there, all works perfectly. Very, very cold air conditioned air coming out of the car as well. 6-stack multi-play CD, obviously heated seats on the leather work there as well. And on the Type S you got this lovely sort of chrome gear lever with the little leather surround so it doesn't not too cold, and obviously passenger seat as well is heated. That all works absolutely perfectly as well. Coming across, multifunction steering wheel, so you got audio top left, cruise control top right, hands-free functions bottom left, and information display systems on the bottom right there for you. Auto lights and auto wipers on the car, and just to pan in there, just show you obviously engine running, temperature gauge exactly where it wants to be, and there's no warning lights on the car at all. As you can see there, 79,986 miles on the vehicle. Come around here, obviously electric memory switches there as well, power folding mirrors on the car, press those and they all work absolutely as they should. But overall, all in very, very nice condition. The only interior blemish, there was one I saw, let me just try, down here. It's a tiny bit of wear on the paint there on this little bar that comes down, obviously where someone's leg or something sort of marked against it. But realistically, I'm nitpicking because the car's, given the mileage of the car, is in very, very nice condition. Right, so just finally, just show the MOT for the car. We've got NJ59YKR Honda Accord, MOT there. Expiry date 21st of June 2017, so just done, and there's no advisories at all. Service history wise, lovely service history on the car. We've got Honda services at 12, 18, 23, 30,900, 35,000, 41,000, 53,000, 65,000 and 75,000 miles, so it's been beautifully maintained all the way through. Right, this is a video for a Honda Accord, quite a rare car. This is a 2.2 DTEC Tourer, but it's the Type S version. Car is registered NJ59YKR, and the mileage at the start of this brief road test is 79,979 miles. Reason for the road test is basically we're now selling to customers from all over the UK and mainland Europe, and we just want people to be able to see the cars in operation and to give you the confidence to come and see the cars based on obviously what I report. But obviously if there's anything I need to report, detrimental or otherwise, I will do so. Worth pointing out also that this road test is done on exactly the same roads as you'll be road testing the vehicle on yourself if you're interested in the vehicle, so it should be very representative of hopefully of what you'll experience yourself. What I'll do is obviously I'll go through it in the same order as you'll probably do yourself, and starting with the engine. This isn't your normal DTEC engine because they're rated at around about 150 horsepower. This one its power output is just about 180 horsepower, just a fraction less from memory. So it's a fair bit quicker than the standard car. Economy is still pretty much the same. It's around about 50 miles to the gallon or so, and obviously depending on how you drive the vehicle. But the engine's fantastic. It starts on the button, revs very cleanly, very crisply. Loads of power to it. It's obviously, as you'd expect, being a Type S one. But it's kind of the way it goes by this business, which is so nice. So I got one of these really annoying little alarms that tell you that you've exceeded 30 miles an hour or so, which I'll turn off if people want me to, but every time you exceed that it pings on, so I don't think there's anything wrong. But no, the engine, it idles perfectly. There's no strange noises, there's no vibrations. There's no warning lights on the dashboard relating to that or anything else for that matter. It's running at exactly a third of the way up the temperature gauge, which is exactly where you want a Honda to be, petrol, diesel or otherwise. But as a unit, it's a wonderful unit. They can take quite huge mileages. Obviously it's a cam chain driven engine, so there's no scheduled cam belt change on these things, obviously using a chain, so that saves a lot in maintenance of the vehicle. Engine then goes to clutch and gearbox. Clutch actuation is very smooth, utterly silent, beautifully engineered. Bites perfectly. There's no change in engine notes whether the clutch is in or out. No vibrations, nothing at all. It's in absolutely perfect order there. Clutch then goes to this 6-speed gearbox, which as we've come to expect from Honda, gives off fantastic gear change. It really is. 6-speed. Obviously, it'll be a cable operated gear linkage, I assume, but Honda somehow managed to engineer in a really lovely feel of engineering into it. So you get very positive gear changes, lovely, well judged synchro mesh on it. The changes are kind of relatively short throw, but it's just so easy to find. It just let the spring drop it back into its position. I'm just changing fun for gear for fun, just to show you really. But it really does, change gear absolutely fantastically. Here I am at 50 miles an hour, 6th gear, and it pulls absolutely fine. It's a very tractable engine. Can't feel an ounce of wear in the gear linkage at all. I really can't. As I'm driving along now, basically just tracking absolutely bullet straight. The steering's got no vibrations coming back through the steering wheel at all at this or any other speed that I've experienced. And it's got a really lovely power steering setup on these. Not always a given on electronic power steering, which is a bit of a pet hate of mine. But this is one of the better systems because it's very, very precise. And I can't feel just even the merest hint of wear in it. I really can't. It's got sometimes with a few miles on the clock, you'll get the worn track rods or steering components, and it just it'll be perfectly safe, but just have a little bit of wear and just feel a bit looser. But this feels exactly like it did when it rolled off the production line. It's a fantastic order. Likewise, the suspension, very, very comfortable cars to drive over long distances. Rides the bumps very well indeed, but in a kind of a sort of nuggety, firm way. But what's again exactly the same with the steering, just no sign of wear in it at all. It's really fantastic. It's again, the things as with the steering, you're kind of looking for those kind of little noises or chatterings from underneath that shouldn't be there. And on suspension, it tends to be one of two things normally, which would be either anti-roll bar link arm just chattering away, or top mounts on the top or bottom mounts on the suspension components. But it's just so solid. It's amazing. Brakes on the car. I'm just going to check there's nothing behind me a second. Lovely solid pedal, right at the top, not over servoed. Really lovely pedal there, and it's pulling dead straight. So there's no pulsing or vibration coming back through the brake pedal at all, which suggests that obviously brakes and the discs and pads are in good order underneath. Clearly, obviously, we checked that prior to the car going out, but it's just worth noting at this stage. Let's pull away here. Genuinely a quick car. I mean, it sort of gets up to speed. That's up to the max, the 60 mile an hour limit in no time at all. Deceptively quick car, actually. I had one of these and I absolutely loved it. You cover your big distances very quickly. It's got such a it's kind of underestimated. I'm not sure what the word is. I'm trying to think now. It's got a much better chassis than cars which sort of eulogised for being sort of great driving machines. This you can say just literally just a series of bends linked together, and it takes them in such an unflustered manner. It doesn't go about its business by sort of shouting out how great it is. It's just got wonderful body control. Coming to the rest of the interior of the car, a beautifully built car. There's not a hint of a buzz or rattle from the trim, which is why you'd be very careful not to careful of clocked ones. The dashboard's made out of these sort of lovely kind of soft touch plastics. It's very well made. So Type S spec, big spec car. So you've got full black leather interior, electric heated seats. Sat nav up there, lovely and high, really simple to read, and very easy to control through the main control here. What's nice, obviously, you pop it into reverse, you get a lovely crystal clear rear parking camera as well, which is really nice. And then further down, radio system, six stack CD player as well. It's all really easy to use, and it's very, very, very high quality. All the switches and everything really top order. Dashboard on the car again, typical Honda, very, very legible, very easy to assimilate and take in the information. Big dominating sort of speedo and rev counter there. All the information display and everything. Pixelation's absolutely perfect. Not that we've ever had an issue on this generation Accord. And then coming down, you've got obviously auto lights, auto wipers on the car, and then you've got your multifunction steering wheel here, so sort of audio top left, cruise control top right, voice activation bottom left, and information display on the bottom right there, and it all works perfectly. Incidentally, it's what are we looking at, 19 degrees centigrade outside, and absolutely ice cold air coming out of the air conditioning system as well, so just worth pointing that out to you. But if you want a car that it looks fantastic in this colour, it really, really does. It grand looking car. It's for the money that they're selling for. You're looking at sort of, I don't know, its natural competitors would be things like sort of Passat, Audi, BMW to some extent, and you just get so much more for your money. Standard equipment, but also in terms of the the reliability of the car, so it's in a completely different league to any of those. They're quite brilliantly made cars, really are. But it's a really good fun car to drive, to own, to buzz around in. Hugely practical, obviously. But it's just to me, but more than anything else, I've gone across country in these things, and it's just the way, especially if you're going on sort of windier roads and sort of quick A roads, just how capable the chassis is. It just doesn't fling you about. The BMWs are people rave about them because they're the ultimate driving machine or whatever they claim. Well, it's fine if you want to sort of the ultimate in sort of rear-wheel drive handling, but unfortunately the payoff is the ride can be appallingly bad on certain surfaces, which it isn't ideal. Then you look at the kind of Audi Passat type cars. They can be sort of slightly softer riding, so slightly more comfortable over some surfaces, but you get nothing like the precision and the drive that you get out of these. They're totally different things. And that's before we start on things about emissions or otherwise. If I dare raise that subject, but it is the truth of the matter. So it doesn't matter whether obviously if you're setting off from a couple of miles away, or whether you're coming 3 days across Europe, I genuinely will say you'll be coming to drive an absolutely fantastic car, and you will definitely come and drive it when I've turned that really annoying little 30-mile-an-hour buzzer off, because it's I think every time that pings you, well away, we just want to punch the dashboard. But clearly, if I've missed anything out on the road test, then don't hesitate. Do give us a call. But based on what I've driven, you become to drive a car that drives absolutely beautifully. Really does.